What's up, YouTube? It's MTG Angel. I wanted to talk about the timeline and how we got here and what's next. So, if you remember, a year or two ago, everyone was insanely negative on the future of Magic the Gathering products. In fact, even now, if you were to go and comment or post online and say, hey, I'm buying these specific collector boxes or Magic the Gathering items for financial reasons, and I believe that they'll 2x, people would call you insane. And people were saying that. If you look up any collector box that came out and look up the commentary that people were posting about it, like for instance Foundations, people were saying this is something that they're going to reprint for 5 years about the collector boxes. And they were $200 when they came out. You could have pre-ordered them all day for $200. A little after, they pumped to $400. Right now they're sitting around $550. They 2x'd in a year, and no one would believe you. And if you said that they could go up higher than 400, no one would have believed you. So this is an item that during this downtrend, no one really believed in. And most of the collector boxes during the downtrend, no one believed in. And so now we've came out of a massive bull run, I'd say. I don't know if we've left the bull market. That's kind of something that you talk about in hindsight and not really in the moment. But in hindsight, that was a huge bull run. We had boxes multiplying overnight, nonstop, all day. You could have bought a box, and before it arrived to you, it could have doubled in value. And that's what happened with Eldraine for me. I remember buying a box for $450, around that, and before it got to me, it was about $650, $700. It was like a week or two. So I just want to remind you guys, sometimes you have to zoom out and stick to your initial guns and your initial vision. You could tell anyone what you're doing and no one would support it. They would say that you're crazy or it's a bad idea, and they'd have a list of reasons of why it's bad. And often those reasons aren't wrong, but it doesn't mean that they're right either. For instance, you may say, hey, I want to invest in Magic the Gathering collector boxes. I think Lord of the Rings special at $300 is a good buy, and this thing could go to $500, $600 in a couple years. And someone would say, well, think about the taxes. Think about liquidity, and who knows? That thing's never going to 600, or it's going to take so long, and you could buy S&P 500. Whereas, if you did buy Lord of the Rings special, it outdid your expectations. And that could say the same for any collector box being purchased today. You could be surprised with how quick and how much money you could make buying collector boxes in the open market today, especially because there's been a retracement, there's been a downtrend for all these boxes in the last month or two. This is a great time to buy. And no one's going to be able to press that buy button for you. And no one's going to be able to tell you to take that risk, because there is a risk that it doesn't go up. Maybe it goes down more. Maybe because of Universes Beyond and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, maybe Magic the Gathering blows up and no one wants anything to do with it. But if you think that the wheel will keep turning and the game engine will continue and people will still like Magic the Gathering products, this is a great time to buy. And who knows what happens in the future. So just remember, supply is never going up on any of these collector boxes. There will never be another box printed for all of the ones that have came out to date. I don't know about Spider-Man or anything. I don't know, because people were pessimistic, saying that they might reprint them. That's also another risk. But all I know is people are really negative about Spider-Man right now. And I'm seeing boxes of Spider-Man collectors being sold at Micro Center for $400. That's really close to what you could have picked these up by as. And if you think about it, nothing's changed with the outlook of collector boxes. Collector boxes have doubled, tripled, quadrupled when the supply runs out. And it's only a matter of time before the supply runs out for Spider-Man as well. I mean, even if people don't like it. People didn't like a lot of these sets. So, and look at Aether-Drift. No one liked Aether-Drift. Or Murders. And those are pumping. Those are doubling from their discount clearance prices. So, this is just a reminder to zoom out, re-look at your bull case and your reasons why you might have invested in the past in these boxes, and ask if anything's changed, significant enough to change it. And I don't think the fundamentals will change on collector boxes until they actually start reprinting them, because that was the main fundamental, is that these are a box that's not getting reprinted. And because it's not getting reprinted, the supply will continue to drain as long as they are sold and as long as they are opened, especially because of whatnot. So consider it. This is a great time right now. We finally entered a bearish moment for not only Bitcoin, but for Magic the Gathering and Pokemon collectible items. And if you wish you could have caught the last bull run, well, now's a good time to catch the next one. So like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you agree. I mean, I don't know. I don't know the future. You could be wasting your money and this thing could go to $0, and you might be commenting in a year like, hey dude, you told me that I should reconsider. I should have never reconsidered it. And yeah, I expect some people to maybe have that with some of this content online, is that the way they followed it didn't work out. However, I believe most people, if you could stick and properly listen to what's being said by anyone who's telling you to consider buying assets, I think there's a lot of profit to be made. And keep in mind, I'm only talking about proper assets that have proven themselves, such as Magic the Gathering collector boxes, Pokemon booster boxes, or packs. Even some of the Pokemon singles, but those are you kind of have to know the game a little bit more on those. Secret layers, Bitcoin. These are things that have proven themselves year after year, that they can double, triple, quadruple in value from when you bought it to today's date. So I would expect in the future for that to continue. Let me know what you think, guys, and I really hope this advice or commentary helps level you and keep you grounded. I know it's easy for anyone, even me, to stay level-headed and optimistic, especially when you might go online and everywhere you look, people are just being negative and bearish. But I have to remind myself, and I would like to remind you, that negativity, it never lasts. Remember, some of these same people who are telling you not to buy Lord of the Rings special because it was recycled. Some of these same people were negative on every single secret layer or collector box. And some of these same people have laughed and mocked Bitcoin its entire lifespan, calling it a scam and a waste of money. So, trust yourself. Not really the internet, not even me, Consider what I'm saying and make your own judgments. That's it, guys. See you later. Happy stacking.